Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. And it's good to be back. It's good to be back in the chair and making some videos. It has been almost 10 days since I did my last one, and in the meantime, I had quite a blast in real life. I was at the Rammstein concert in Vienna, then I went through Vienna itself, so viewing the city with my girlfriend and another couple of friends. Then the next thing was that in Vienna the other day I met the Orange Doom, which was always something that I was looking for, and pretty nice guy actually in real life, but my god is this dude tall. Then I also was fishing quite a lot, and I was also catching quite a lot. I could make a separate videos about this one, but I have not any sort of footage, just pictures, and you cannot really fill an entire video with just like a dozen of pictures. Then yesterday I was also at a folk festival that I'm always looking for the entire year, and that was a blast. I had a really good time. What else? Yeah, I was also burned out from the British experience. See, I still had to grind the latest Hunter and also the Striker HVM. So a British tank and a British plane and the British premiums are just not a good experience. The planes and tanks that I'm talking about are by themselves not really bad. In many aspects are pretty good. The Shotcaller Dalet in comparison to the Chieftain Mark III is just better. It has APFSDS, it has just era protection, and it is just faster, but it's still heavily outclassed, and its armor protection means nothing versus the opposition in the mild up tiers from 8.3 to 8.7 that you get all of the time because of the battle rating black holes. So that's just how it works for me. That is my experience, and it was goddamn awful. But the tank itself is not bad. The same with the Meteor F Mark 8 Reaper, the premium one. 95% of the games that I played were just, full up tiers versus 9.0s, and you're heavily outclassed. So you can imagine the grind was also unnecessary evil, so that was a really painful and bad experience, not to be recommended. Then let's talk about Defiant's video or response video to my BF109G2 asset flip video. And the funny thing is, we both agree on a majority of things, but we give different value to the same arguments that we actually agree on, and we also see it from a different point of view. I'm always really harsh on premiums and giving them a good verdict, and that was not a review. Comparing planes to each other is very difficult because in various different situations, at various different speeds, at various different altitudes, the characteristic of a plane changes. Then, do you talk about air RB or ground RB? Do you talk about both game modes? Do you talk about playing it in a single way? Do you play it in a squad? Are you an experienced player? Are you an average player? Is it to be recommended as a grinding machine, etc, etc. And I still stand by my verdict that the BF109G2 is not to be recommended because the offer that you get from Gaijin is bad, because the plane itself is more average or slightly below average. The plane itself is not unusable, and it's by no means impossible to get kills. But I think that the misbehavior of allied teams really shows, and the class of pilots that pilot those German planes, which are then also mostly spaded versus very often not spaded Spitfires and allied bomber swarms and attacker swarms. I think that all those arguments have been made numerous times. I still stand by them. Prove me wrong. But as in a 1 versus 1 situation, the BF109G2 is actually not all that special. And I'm not hating here on Defiant. I will not hate on somebody that shows dedication, that shows skill, that shows passion, that shows how you can really make the most out of a plane. But two things have to be answered. First of all, do you really think that this plane is that good? And second of all, if you would put that much skill, knowledge, dedication and passion into flying an allied plane, what the hell would you get out of those? What kind of performance would you get out of them? That is one point that I'm really wondering about. And again, it's not hating. You're a damn good pilot, no doubt about this. But really, what could you make out of a Corsair? What could you make out of a P-47, P-51, F-6F, Spitfires, Typhoons, etc.? Planes of around this or at the very same battle rating. I just wonder what kind of monster kill streaks you would get. Because, you know, for me, I know how a plane flies. I flew all the planes throughout the 7 different nations that we have in War Thunder throughout the patches. And this is where I am really worried about the G2 losing even more value in the future. What if the German mine shells all of a sudden sucks, like they did in that one commentary that I made? Because I didn't really make the planes explode like the patch before, but they all went set afire. I'm not saying that the weaponry is bad, but what if Gaijin does a typical Gaijin move and nerfs it to shit? What then? Oh, you used the 2 gun pods and have 3 20mm? Good job. Now the rest of your performance sucks. Even more. So then the next thing is, I think that the P-38 is kind of the same. Because very often, if you look at this very exact gameplay, it looks amazing. It looks like I'm dominating and I know how to use the flaps and etc, etc. But, you know, there are patches where 50 cals suck. There are patches where you would constantly find yourself in up tiers and you get outperformed. And the allied teams, well, they make it not very often easy. And here I am also kind of trying to get guns on target and the plane wobbles all over the place. I tried to correct it with the key bindings as usual, which I use, by the way. So what Define said, that I don't use them, that I don't know what I'm talking about, is absolutely not true. Again, not hating on him, just pointing out one aspect. There are so many things I cannot respond to any single point made, and you know, I would be okay with Define and me sitting on Discord or TeamSpeak and just having a talk, you know, just talking to one each other and to just clarify the arguments one by one. That would be smaller than making a response video to a response video to another video. Nice wobbling here, by the way. And that is something that I offer you, Define. I think you deserve it. You made one smart move by not insulting me. Well, that was where your fanboys come in, because they overtook that for you, I guess. But jokes aside, yes, a few harsh words were thrown around, but nothing that really would you know, make it impossible for me to respond to your video and take the stuff that you say serious. And I think it offers for us both chances so that we can sit together, we have a talk, and we can talk about the things that we disagree on and just come together with it. Because I think that the BF-109 G2 more lives by mistakes made by the allies rather than by its own performance. And yes, it can climb, and that's a one-trick pony, like with the P-38K. The P-38K, if you go in great detail, can do many more things. But let me just give you 2 quick examples. When the BF-109 E7U2 came in, it was stupidly overperforming at a much lower battle rating. And instead of raising the battle rating, which would have been the sensible thing to do, Gaijin decided to artificially nerf it. And again, in the very beginning, it flew very smoothly, it was very precise. I absolutely loved it, because it was a BF-109 that worked. It was working too good, but at least it worked as I think it should. And then a little bit of, how should I say, instructor interference was smeared on it. Just to make clear, I have put off every single option that I can put off or turn off with the instructor in the options, but still it interferes. And so the BF-109 E7U2 also has rudder and wobbling issues and lockups, etc. It's still extremely good, but it's not where it once was, instead of keeping its performance and giving it a higher battle rating. And the same is there with the BF-109 G2, with the BF-109 K4. I love those planes as well. They are amazing when they work, but they're also even more frustrating if you get screwed over by the flight model, if you get screwed over by, I don't know, the plane not executing your commands at all and just getting locked and not responding. Yeah, that's my problem with those planes. And another example that I quickly want to give is, do you remember the introduction of the P-51H? When it got introduced, a lot of the player base shifted towards it because it was a World War II super prop plane, or, after World War II, I'm not quite sure. But the thing is, it had an absolutely amazing performance, and still has it. And so all the good German pilots, with all their skill, experience and teamwork, shifted to the other side, and then the German teams lost left, right and center at various different battle ratings. Not only that, the win ratio had a big dent, and it went to the other way around, that Germany then lost 60-70% of the games because of this player base shift. And I think that this is what also could happen anytime to the allied teams. It's just a reputation that keeps the planes usable, and farming idiots is not the thing that I would give a good verdict to a plane to. Again, I offer you the chance to talk to me. Just send me a message on Discord or in-game, whatever, it doesn't matter. And I still stand by my points. I still think that I have valid arguments, but I think that the major difference in looking at the plane is that we give different value to the very same points that we actually agree on, and there is only 1 or 2 points that we actually disagree on. So I will not hate on a person that shows dedication, that shows passion, that knows how to fly, and just makes a video disagreeing with me, because I know it's the internet, but I still think that it should be absolutely normal for different people having different opinion. And I said this in my videos themselves, that there is absolutely no problem with, listening to different people and then making your own mind up. This is what I recommended throughout my videos. But I don't repeat that sentence in every single video that I make, because at some point, I have to talk about the stuff at hand. That's it for me today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, give it, subscribe if you want to see more. And we'll see each other on the ways, on the battlefields, and in the skies of War Thunder.